Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's news: Tākaka Caves as you've never seen them before, Nelson Teenagers Fight for Life ends, Light Nelson is Supreme Winner in Trustpower Awards, and more. Alex Renton passed away on Wednesday evening with his family by his bedside. Alex has been in an induced coma in Wellington Hospital for a period of 2 months after suffering a prolonged seizure with a rare form of autoimmune encephalitis. His mother Rose has been battling officials on behalf of her son to allow him access to medical cannabis oil. Finally, last month, Government Minister Peter Dunn granted permission for the hospital to be able to import the drug, brought in from the US as treatment for Alex's seizures, who was taken off life support soon after the treatment when he began to breathe on his own. His family posted on a Facebook page set up in support of Alex with a post on Wednesday night that said, "This evening, our beautiful warrior Alex passed peacefully away, surrounded by his family, listening to his own music with the tummy of his mum's food." The family said they were very grateful for the support they've received. Alex's family have arranged a memorial gathering for Alex this Saturday, 4th of July at Broad Green Gardens from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. for family and friends to be able to share their memories of Alex. A new Nelson event has won the top award in this year's Trustpower Community Awards held on Monday night. Light Nelson was named as this year's Supreme Award winner and will go on to represent Nelson at the National Trustpower Awards. Light Nelson's dramatic light-based installations transformed the Queen's Gardens after dark for 3 nights from the 11th to the 13th of July last year, and although the weather wasn't working in the event's favour, it was a huge hit with the crowds, especially the last night being the driest, drawing the largest crowd of the event. Light Nelson Trust have recently held a workshop to discuss many aspects of Light Nelson, including the format and timing of the main event for next year, deciding to bring the event forward to the holidays, which would make it easier for Light Nelson to partner with NMIT and include the students' projects in the event. Additionally, it would hopefully be easier for people to plan their holidays and perhaps stay in town for a few days before going skiing, and not miss out on the event. The other major change is that the event will run for longer and will now be held for 5 nights in total to help buffer for bad weather on 1 or 2 of the nights. The dates set for the next event are the 8th to the 12th of July 2016. Light Nelson received $150,000 in the long-term plan. Nelson's Economic Development Agency, the EDA, was in China with Mayor Rachel Reese to further establish business links with Nelson's sister city. This was Mayor Reese's first visit as Nelson's mayor to the city. I spoke with the CEO of the EDA, Bill Finlater, to find out what has been achieved by the last 3 council-funded trips to China. Bill, thanks for taking the time to speak to us today. Can you please outline for us what is the purpose of the EDA, Economic Development Agency, for Nelson?
Well, the EDA was set up 11 years ago by Nelson City Council. We're a council-controlled organisation. Our general purpose is really about working to make a difference in the region toward more meaningful, better-paying jobs for our people. And we do that by working with business sectors, with education and with research and development.
Council has been to China 3 times now with the EDA and various other organisations. Can you tell us the cost benefits for the ratepayers from these trips?
Well, I think that's an interesting question. I think people don't realise the importance of the mayor and local government in China. China is in effect about 56 different nations. It's not just one nation, and most of the trade is done through the local governments or the regional governments in China. So local government to local government is really important for developing trade.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, local governments working together, we can get things done a lot faster maybe and easier than working through the national government.
Oh, absolutely. And most people don't realise how important a mayor is in the Chinese community. They really rank the mayors very highly. So if you have a mayor with you, the mayor opens very many doors for you.
Tangible outcome seems to be a catchphrase in council at the moment with the latest long-term plan. Could you put your finger on any tangible outcomes from these last trips and the last 17 or 20 years of having a sister city relationship?
Yeah, well, I think before you talk about tangible relationships, you have to look at what it's like doing business in China. You can't just rock up to China and say, here, I've got something for you to sell. Buy it from me. You have to be able to get to the businesses themselves. The other thing is by looking at our sister city relationship. Guangzhou has a population of 3.5 million at the moment. In 5 years' time, that'll be nearly 5 million. They're in an area that's called between east and west. On the Yangtze River, so you can get 5,000-ton vessels up to it. It's on a rail head, it's on a highway head. If you look at Guangzhou and took a 4-hour driving radius, you could reach 400 million people. If you took a 12-hour driving radius of Guangzhou, you can reach 1 billion people. So the opportunities by working with a sister city like that is probably far easier and better for us to look on than going to, say, a city like Shanghai or Beijing.
Yeah, that's phenomenal amounts of people when you think about it, isn't it? So we've been a sister city for 20 years. You say that we'll see some results in the next 20 to 40 years. Are we going to continue funding and continue doing these trips for a maximum of 57 years before we see some real cost benefits from this?
No, I actually didn't say that we'd see something in 20 to 40 years. We've had a relationship for 20 years, and my thoughts initially were that within 5 to 10 years we'd be building something up pretty good for us. I think that that's happening a lot quicker. Already we've got opportunities in Guangzhou that we discussed with a local business up there this last trip. That business has got 22 outlets in Guangzhou, which with its population of 3.5 million. They've got another 35 outlets in Wuhan, which is the capital of Hubei province, just an hour down the road, and they're looking for products that Nelson supplies. They've already got one front opened up with Nelson on its signage, so I think the prospects look pretty good for that particular business.
Yeah, sorry, but I was quoting off the EDA website, was saying that within the next 20 to 40 years, we would see some real gains.
No, that quote in the next 20 to 40 years is about that the most desired product in the world is going to be food or food-based product or water, and that's what Nelson has in abundance. And I believe that the future for Nelson region is very strong because of what we produce. We've got a higher dependence on the primary sector than any other part of New Zealand, and if you look at our next Tracking the Economy that's due to come out this month, you'll see that Nelson is actually the best performing region in the country at the moment economically.
Bill, thanks very much for that. That was great information, and I'm sure everyone's really impressed to hear what's been going on.
Oh, good. Thanks very much, Graham.
A 27-year-old Nelson man will face charges after police executed an early morning search warrant at a Tahunanui address Thursday morning. The man has been charged with possession of methamphetamine and possession of instruments for the commission of an offence against the Misuse of Drugs Act. He is due to appear in Nelson District Court this week. In the recently adopted long-term plan by Nelson City Council, there were 31 submissions against a 4% increase to marina fees and will now only be increased by the rate of inflation, which is 2.7%, something I am sure the residents would like to see for general rates. Meanwhile, Nelson Nature Project has been adopted into the long-term plan that Council has said received enthusiastic and significant support, even though it attracted only 24 submissions. So you would think that the Tapawera Motorsport Park would be a real goer, as it attracted around 125 positive submissions from the Nelson motorsport community. However, it did not get a mention in the LTP. Mainland managed to catch up with some people on the street to find out what they thought of the motorsport park when the idea first spun its wheels.
The car event last weekend had a few minor problems. How do you feel about the specially built motorsport event area to be built in Tapawera to keep these events in one place?
Good idea, and I want to go and try it. I've got no opinion on that one way or the other.
I'm not a fan of petrol heads, full stop, so if I lived out there I wouldn't be very happy about it, to be quite frank. They have loads of things on in New Zealand for people to go and, you know, listen to loud noises and smell petrol fumes. Like, you know, it's about something they grew up. Sorry to sound like an old grump, but, you know, it's a thing I feel quite strongly about, as you can guess. I mean, you know, the planet's in a pretty pitiful state, and we've got people wandering around, you know, using up gasoline for the sake of it.
And now we'll leave you with a man who goes to places that many of us could never imagine going. Kieran McKay is not a small man, but he manages to squeeze himself into some very small spaces in an effort to discover the caving systems around our region. Mainland interviewed Kieran last year about the Bulmer Cave system in Mount Owen, which is the biggest cave system in New Zealand. And now we have a video filmed and edited by Kieran describing one of his latest journeys, discovering the water supply system under the Takaka Valley that leads to Pupu Springs.
Do people in this town realise that the water they drink comes from an internationally significant cave system directly beneath their feet? Under this valley there's a huge cave system that's waiting to be discovered. The scale of this, it's huge. I mean, some of the water goes underground 12 kilometres away. Other water flows off the sides of the mountains, goes underground, and it all collects in this vast marble storage tank and flows under the valley and comes out here. Getting into the system is proving to be a real challenge. Rob Davies, Tony Salmon, Martin Farr may well have actually found the way in here in Spittal Springs. Martin, Rob and Tony and other people in the team explored over 7 kilometres of cave, and now what we're trying to do is connect up the Cottage Cave system to the Totara Cave system. There's 5 kilometres of cave in Cottage Cave, and about 2 kilometres in Totara. It's about 100 metre gap between the two. I'm hoping to find a way between those two caves. I feel a real sense of urgency in this project. One of the reasons is that there's a lot of pressure on the aquifer. You look around you and there's land clearances, there's dairy farming. People want more water to be pulled out of the aquifer. No one knows what that's going to do. No one knows at all. No one knows where the caves go. There's all these theories. And scientists have got these theories about which way the water's going, but we'll never know until we actually go there and explore it. I suppose in some ways it's a little selfish. In fact, I like to explore the system before the water quality gets completely stuffed. As I certainly hope that our exploration of the system helps people realise that they've got something incredibly special sitting under this valley. And we can be part of that. We can be part of exploring this huge underwater system. There must be a way out underneath the valley to that huge big cave that sits out there and drains out to Pupu Springs. And it's that route that I want to try and find. This week's project is a dive in Spittal Springs. Spittal Springs right here on this lane here. Walshy Cave's less than 100 metres long, so very easy carry to the sump. The only issue with the cave is it's got a whole series of crawlways and squeezes to actually get into the sump. So even though the carry is a bit of a bitch, that's okay. Yeah, a few crawls, squeezes. The hard part's probably only 30 metres long, but it only took me an hour. It took me an hour to get my gear out of the cave. 2 carriers to get the gear in, did the whole lot in one go on the way out, so I was dragging 5 packs out of the cave. It was certainly one of those things that, you learn patience, a lot of patience, trying to haul all those packs through those squeezes. I had to laugh. It was really crazy, really crazy. But from Walshy Cave, we're looking at about 400 metres of diving until we get to the connection area to Totara Cave. So quite a lot of diving. Once I actually got into the water, the sump was really tight. I couldn't actually fit into the sump with my bottles on, so I had to push my bottles in through this little tiny hole and then wiggle in after them with about an inch of airspace into a little chamber, then put my bottles on and start diving. Yeah, so the start was pretty intense. But after that, it just... Martin, man, what an amazing discovery. I was just blown away. Beautiful, beautiful diving. Some of the passages were low and wide. Some of them were nice and big and round. Yeah, it was very, very pleasant. Very strong current, swimming upstream against a very strong current. Had to go through a rock pile, a bit of wiggle between some boulders. When we're cave diving, you've got to understand that there is no up. Safety for us is right back at the start of the dive. And for me, safety was 400 metres back. As we explore, we reel out a line. This line is our link back to the start of the dive and safety. My air supply is limited to what I can carry. To conserve that air, I need to be completely relaxed. So to stay relaxed, I go into a dive with a plan. Any changes to that plan can put the stress levels up and increase the air consumption. Not a good place to be. I was following the line laid by the previous explorer, Martin Farr, and some of his line had obviously been washed out by floods and all got into a big tangled mess, which that mess definitely put the stress levels up. And as soon as there was that change, I had to make a decision. Do I push on or do I turn back? You know, to me, you start stacking these little lemons up, right? Little things that could go wrong. Single line, easy on the mind to follow. More than one line becomes a bit of a mind game. It's like, what's all this line doing here? And also, I was concerned about the weather. There's a big front coming in. Was it going to rain on the surface? Which not too much of a problem, apart from the fact the visibility would have gone down to 0, and also getting out of the water would have been very difficult. So I had these things playing on my mind. I got out to the junction where I had to turn right to go down to where the connection area was, and I just thought, time to go home. yeah, time to go home. I felt like a long way from home at that point. Yeah, so I turned back, but at least now I know exactly what the passage is like. I know how long it takes to get out there, and I know where to go, so I'm looking forward to getting back in there and diving again. Huge, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into there and exploring more.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
88.1 The Shed.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and a lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Stoke Seniors Hall has something for everyone this month, starting on Wednesday the 8th of July. Come and listen to some great music from Sun City Ukes, starting 1:30 p.m. Thursday the 9th, enjoy the piano music and sing along tunes of the new performer Sharon Rogers, also from 1:30 p.m. Both are a donation of $3. And then on Tuesday the 14th of July, it's Bastille Day, lunch starting at 12 p.m. The cost is $14 with a drink included. Please book. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson Province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour. We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time. Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Nelson Tire Center, great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer, all types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.